here I am, Portland Harbour. What a beautiful part of the world. I'm taking the boat out by myself. Some people at the caravan park are telling me there are acres of salmon busting up out the front, and some other people have caught some beautiful gummy sharks and school sharks on the reef. So let's go and see what Portland has to offer. Yes! Gotcha! Oh! Well, I have thrown, oh, I've got a double hook up here. Soundo, please, boat in neutral. Well done. Huge patch of salmon in the water here. It is just unbelievable. I threw a few metal lures, and in the past, a metal lure would always catch a salmon. Look at this. Look at the guys following him. This is a big fish. He's going to come out of the water, and he's got fish all around him. Oh, look at that. This is a big salmon. When I say big considering I'm using a little Neck Save 2500 and 6-pound line. I tried all the metal lures, all the things that would normally work, didn't do the job. So I went to one of my favourite lures, a little Yozuri 3D minnow. I've caught heaps of barramundi on it, jacks, all that sort of stuff. I threw it into the school and it lasted about 2 seconds. Now, I think I've still got a fish on here as well, so I've got to wind that in and see what's going on. Oh, I've got a lot of slack line. Have I got a fish still? No, I think that one might have got away. Well, that's a good thing. I get this out of the way. Wind. Oh. This is the only time in my life I've ever really wanted to be an octopus. I've got to keep the tension on that one. There's no fish there, thankfully. He got away, so we'll get rid of that. That's easy. And I can get back to doing this. Australian salmon, look at that. They are found all the way across Sydney, down south, Merimbula, into Victoria, through South Australia, and then into the west. We are only a kilometre from Portland Harbour. Fish are busting and boiling everywhere. There's people out here in little tinnies. You don't have to be a millionaire to come and catch salmon, but let me just say, when you hook up to one, you certainly do feel like a millionaire, because you feel $1 million. This is fishing. When we came out of the harbour this morning, I'd heard. I spoke to the local tackle store and they told me there was salmon in the bay. Looked for the birds, could not find a bird. And all we could see was one bird disappearing, and then another bird. It was almost like following a little bread trail. And I thought they've got to be going somewhere, so we just went in the general direction where they were, and all of a sudden we got within about 500 metres and you could see birds everywhere on the water, fish busting up. Look at the size of this salmon. It's a good fish. Come on, mate. Oh, I just can't lift him. This is a tiny little jewel rod. This is basically a brim flicking outfit, and he is a serious fish, so I just gotta, come on. Yes! Oh. Woo! That is so cool. Australian salmon, let me just say a fair one at that. And my favourite little Yozuri 3D minnow there, looks just like a little pilchard or an anchovy. And Mr. Salmon just could not help himself. The birds are still working. I think we'll get back in and have a bit more fun. Portland salmon, you beauty. These fish are copped a hammering because they've had a long weekend and every man and his dog has been out here fishing for them. So if they hear the noise of the engines, even though E-Tex is so quiet, it's still probably enough just to put them down. So we've stalled, we'll turn the engines off. We're hoping the fish are going to come to us, but it's a bit of a lucky game because they could go any direction. I just got to wait and hope. Now, it looks like they've decided to go that way. Salmon, they have tails, they will swim. Mate, we might start and just point our nose in that direction. I reckon this popper's going to do the job because they're obviously feeding on something pretty small. Little 3D popper. Ow! And the hooks are sharp too. I smashed the fish in Sydney Harbour just before Christmas on this lure, so I made sure I got a few more. Now, normally I'd tie a loop knot on this, but I just hooked up and got the whole lot smashed to bits. He took my leader and everything, so I've now just got 6-pound line all the way to the hook, and I don't really want to tie a perfection loop in 6 pounds, so I'm going to tie a full locked blood knot. It's a cracker of a knot, does the job. And I want to tie it quickly because there's fish all around us busting up. So, popper's on. We'll find these fish again. I reckon that will do the damage. See him out the front there, mate? Bit more to the left. I want to be like 15 foot from them, but got to get up a bit, mate. Keep going. Yeah, look at them all here in the water. Look at them. Keep going in, that's it. And that's it, now just into neutral. Excellent, here they come, stop. Look at the fish coming towards us. Look at them in the water here. Look at them smashing up, that is unbelievable. Yes! That popper hit the water and got smashed straight away. And look at the salmon here. The water is literally green with salmon. Fish everywhere, smashing. Now what is happening here, because people think, why are the fish coming up? The salmon are chasing bait fish and they're pushing the bait fish up, and the bait fish are so scared, they're actually trying to jump out of the water to get some safety. Because they're getting pushed up, they're trying to get out of the water. Well, the birds are going, here's a free feed. They're diving down trying to eat the bait. So the poor bait's going, birds, salmon, birds. And it just creates this amazing thing where you see all this activity in action. And when you're out fishing, the birds are your eyes in the sky. One thing I got taught by a very clever man was, if you have a look at the distance the birds are above the sky, that's normally relative to the distance that the fish are below the surface. So the bird's 10 metres in the air, the fish are 10 metres below the water. And when the fish are on the surface, the birds are on the surface too. Just a good thing to remember. This is a big fish. We might have to actually chase this because my 6-pound line is struggling just a little. But I'm not struggling because this is sensational, and Portland Harbour is less than a K away. At IFISH, we don't have a massive budget. I do the research, I do the fishing, I talk to sponsors as well. I try to be the jack of all trades. Here comes my fish, it's coming up a bit. Today, here it comes, it's gonna jump, I reckon. We're taking it to a new level because I've dropped the family off in town, and my soundo is not only recording sound and doing a great job, he's also my skipper. He's driving the Stavy craft just beautifully. Good move, Pete. Love your work. The trouble with this light line fishing is that you just don't know how big the fish is. It's just taking line. I've only got 6 pound, crazy me, and no leader because that got busted off. I was gonna retie it. I thought, no, we'll see what happens. And it's just got a tremendous amount of weight. Every now and then I can feel a big tail kick just going thump, 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 but I can't lift, and it's got its head down. So it's one of two things. Either a really big salmon, a salmon that's been hooked in the corner of the jaw. I said 2 things, didn't I? Let's make it 3, or another species. You just never know. When there's that much activity, anything could be eating anything. One of the questions people often ask me, and they're people who don't fish, because a lot of people watch IFISH, they don't fish, they just love the scenery and the beautiful places. Not me so much, but I'm working on that. They say, Paul, how can you catch like a 10-pound fish on 4-pound line? Surely the line would break. The reason you can catch a big fish on light line is because my spool is spinning there. Every now and then this fish is taking a lot of line, it spins around. It's called drag. And when that fish is taking line, just like now, that means my line was about to break, and then he pulls a little bit of line off. And by doing that, I don't actually allow it to break. But every time he takes line, just makes him a little bit more tired, and that's where it's a patience game. And a very wise man once said to me, he said, Paul, the breaking strain of fishing line is that time when your patience is spent. And I reckon that's a pretty good saying. Believe it or not, I am 15 minutes into this fight and I don't know what's going on. He's come up to the surface. Oh, I can't believe this. I can't believe it. It is the smallest salmon known to man, and look what it just did to me. I cannot physically believe it. Look at this fish. It's still going, and I think I stated before as one of the 2 things that could happen is that it may have the hook in a funny place and be hooked across the gill plate, and that's exactly what's happened with this fish. What are these Portland salmon on? That's just wrong. Come on. He's obviously using the current. You can see him on his side. He's laying over in the current. That's why I'm getting those kicks. That's why I had a real feeling it could be a kingy because he went so hard. But look at that. Oh, he doesn't know when to give up. That is unbelievable. And he's even hooked properly. He must just be one very strong fish. Well, Mr. Salmon, how do you feel after you've embarrassed me on national TV? Look at that, it's not even a big fish, nowhere near as big as the first one. The popper is right in the corner of the jaw, and he just gave an amazing account for himself. That is wrong town. Just goes to show, premier sports fish. Either that, or I'm weak. Could be a bit of both, but keep that to yourself. You saw how effective that little 3D popper was, casted in. There was fish everywhere, but we now have a problem that the Spanish Armada's moved in and people are driving right through the bait and the fish. If I can just say one thing, if you're out in your boat, don't ruin it for everyone. Don't drive over the top of the fish because it puts them down. Stay to the outskirts of the fish, then everyone can have a good time and cast in. Please remember that thing. Now, only thing I can do because the fish have gone down is put out this little Yozuri. It's a hardcore. You see it's got a very deep bib. By having the deep bib, I'm hoping to swim down. I can see fish on the sound about 3 metres below the surface. This will go to 3 metres. I'm going to work the outside of the boats and see if I can't find a fish that way. Yes, gotcha. Neutral, mate. Oh, how good is that? I love it when a plan comes together. Look at those head shakes. Look at that rod tip just go whack, whack, whack. As a fisherman, I reckon the most exciting thing about any fishing trip is the strike. Whether you're trolling or whether you're casting lures or bait fishing. And now I've got 20-pound fins grade. I've got a much stronger T-curve stick. So now I'm the boss. And these salmon can't embarrass me like that last one did. I can actually pull them straight towards me and get back into it. I'm really happy that worked because it just goes to show, just because the fish go down, doesn't mean you can't change your technique and try something different. Gee, they've got some power, these fish. Even on this T-curve snapper stick, he's still giving me a hard time and got that big thump, thump, thump. Come on, mate. Oh, he's coming up. These fish, ooh, just never ever know when to give up. And that's what I love about them. Look at that. Come on. There he is. Oh, aren't they just mean looking fish? You've got to love Australian salmon. You know what? It's great because anyone can afford to catch a salmon, whether you're on the beach or in the boat. Come here, little man. Come on. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Gotta say, I like this heavier gear. The salmon aren't giving me such a hard time. And just look at that, for a beautiful Aussie fish. Ooh, oh, I'm getting stretched. Oh, I don't know what this is, but I'm getting absolutely smoked here. So I'm gonna have to put some hurt on it because I've only got so much line on this reel. So I've got thumb pressure there, you can see, but I can't put too much on because I don't want to bust it off. It is an intense amount of pressure here. He stopped, and just for a change, the big fish has taken the light rod. They always know, don't they? They always seem to know. Well, he's now got 100 and I just got 2 feet back. We're gonna be here for a while. Let's hope it's the fish we're looking for. Oh, wow, that's cool. He's gone under the boat. Oh, what is going on here? Let me share something funny with the people at home. I just saw my cameraman check his wristwatch. And the reason he did was because before I was saying 11:15, that's shark o'clock. And I think when Andrew just looked at his watch, it's about 11:18. And this is giving a few head shakes that would indicate that it might be the fish we're looking for, a school shark or a gummy shark on these bottom rigs. It's just slowly coming up now, but gee, it hit hard. Look at that, see that? That's what we're looking for, when the rod tip does that big thump, because that tends to indicate that it's got a tail and it's beating the line against itself as it sort of comes up. Now I can see it here. I can see a shark in the water. Look at that. Oh, it's a big fish too. It's a gummy shark. Look at that for a fish. Wowee. What a beautiful gummy shark. Now, this is going to be fun by myself. Because apart from my wonderful crew, and let me just say, yes, you are wonderful, I'm by myself. So, here we go. I'm going to back the drag off. If you can do this by yourself at home, I'm going to pull him over. Okay, the gummy shark didn't read the script. Oh. Okay. Come on, baby. This is a one-man job, so I'm going to struggle a bit. Bear with me. Come here, mate. Watch my burley bucket. Oh! Okay. Not happy about this, is he? Not happy, Jan? Come on, mate. He's a good fish. What a beautiful fish. I love gummies. Now, can I just say, there'll be people watching in Queensland, Northern Territory, and even Western Australia going, oh, worstlings catching sharks again. Well, you know what? Gummy sharks are a great fish. And down here, we target them. And I think fishing is always about setting a goal. Today, I want to go out and catch a certain species, either ticking it off the list or getting that fish so you can take it home and have a feed. And gummies, don't bag them until you've caught them, until you've tasted them, because they are neat. Now, here's my fish again. Come on, mate. Come to me. Come to me. I just don't want to touch him till I got him. I'm not sure if I've got him or he's got me. Come on, mate, relax. Relax. There we have one. And look at that, I think the hook look at that, the hook's fallen out. Hey, excuse me. There's only one thing to do here. Come here. Oh, that's better. Well, hook's fallen out. Our luck's changed. That is a beautiful gummy shark. Watch him, he's going to spin and hit the camera. And we're just going to calm her down. Sit there, that's it, that's it. Calm her down. What a beautiful, beautiful fish. Musticus antarcticus, I believe. And it's called a gummy because there's no teeth in there. See that? It's a toothless terror. Come on, mate. Whoop. You want to stay in with me. That's a girl. Now, it's a girl because you can see the absence of boy things down there. So it's a girl. There's a big chance she's in pup this time of year. So I'm going to let her go and do the right thing. But what we'll do first, we'll clean that water off the lens. And I'm just going to have a quick cuddle because Jet's not here. So I'm feeling like some loving. Shh, it's all right. Oh, Jetty! Jetty, what do you think of this? Daddy caught a shark! Well, this beautiful gummy shark is about to go to the depths. What an awesome fish. No teeth, hence they call it a gummy shark. And if you want to know it's a gummy, look for the white spots on the back. It's a dead giveaway, because you don't go grabbing a schoolie by the tail like that, you could end up in trouble. Mr. Gummy, thank you so much for your time. It has been a pleasure. I've actually had the deck hose down her throat just to get her going, and she will just glide away. Have a look at that. She'll just glide down and make her way to the depths. How beautiful is that? As much as I love being out on the ocean, there is nothing like the feeling of coming back into a safe harbour. Behind me, the Lee breakwater. They catch a lot of nice snapper off that. Good news for land-based anglers. I just have to break the news to my little boy now that Daddy caught a gummy shark. I don't think he's going to be too happy. And guess what else? The salmon, they're still working out the entrance there. There is literally acres and acres of them. Portland, it's a fantastic place to go fishing. I'll catch you next time on IFISH TV.